All right. Welcome to another edition of No Pump Fake Sports. We're going to talk a little Clippers basketball. The title of this video is Ty Lue the best? And I actually think he is the best in the game right now. We'll go back to the Dallas Mavericks series in this 2021 playoffs, and we'll talk about the adjustments that he made. We started that series off by going down 2-0, and man, everybody went crazy. They were like, what is Ty Lue doing? Man, this guy doesn't know what he's doing. Man, did they bring him in for this? You fired Doc Rivers to get this. And then Ty Lue started to make his adjustments. He took Patrick Beverley out the lineup because Patrick was getting killed by Luka Doncic. And don't get me wrong, Patrick is one of my favorite guys, man. So I'm not just pointing the finger at him, but sometimes in basketball you just have bad matchups. And in this Dallas series, this was one of those bad matchups for Patrick Beverley. So Ty Lue brought in Terrence Mann. He subbed Terrence Mann for PB. And don't get me wrong, Terrence Mann wasn't able to stop Luka Doncic, but I think the rotation of Terrence Mann, Paul George, and Kawhi Leonard just kept rotating them on Luka Doncic. It was starting to wear him out because by the time we got, we were down 2-0 and then we got into like around game 5, you could see the difference in Luka Doncic's attitude. He was no longer talking smack on the court. He wasn't really pumping his fist like crazy anymore. They were starting to wear him out. And if you look at his numbers, he was still getting his numbers, his points, but he was becoming less efficient. It was taking him a whole lot of shots just to get his points. So that switch was starting to work. And these are the adjustments that Ty Lue was making throughout the entire playoffs. And, so we were able to fight all the way back to get to a game 7. And what did Ty Lue do again when we got to the game 7? He took, when we got to the fourth quarter, the end of the third and early fourth quarter, he took Kawhi Leonard and say, hey, Luka's your guy for the rest of the game. And primarily in that fourth quarter, Kawhi Leonard shut Luka down. Don't get me wrong, Luka's going to always get his points because he's a great player, but Kawhi Leonard made Luka work for everything, and he kind of like shut him down in that fourth quarter, and this is why we were able to prevail and move on to the next series. So, we went into that Utah series, and same thing happened, went down 2-0, and what did Ty Lue do again? He made adjustments. He saw that Zubac was basically getting his head beat in. So he went small. He brought in the small lineup. And what did that small lineup do? It made Rudy Gobert look like he was a fish out of water. Rudy couldn't guard anybody at that point. They call him the stifle tower because he can block shots at the rim because he's so long and, so tall. But that didn't matter because the smaller lineups was just going around him. They were attacking the basket. I think Terrence Mann bashed on him a couple times. And you just saw it, man. They didn't know what to do. And that was one of the adjustments that Ty Lue did. He went small. But another thing that he did was he brought back Patrick Beverley because he knew Patrick Beverley could disrupt Donovan Mitchell and Jordan Clarkson. And what did Pat Beverley do? He came in and made life hell for those two guards. I mean, he had Jordan Clarkson looking like a shell of himself. Patrick was stealing the ball. He was roughing him up, manhandling him, blocked a couple of his shots. Patrick is going to throw you on the ground every now and then. He's borderline. They say he's dirty, but when he's on your team, you never say he's dirty, right? He's just a hard-nosed player, and he just made life a hell for Jordan Clarkson and Donovan Mitchell. Donovan still got his point, but PB basically made it rough. He made him earn every single thing that he got on the court, and we were able to run off 4 straight games and beat them in 6, and able to go to the next series, and that brings us to the Western Conference Final, the first time in history that the Los Angeles Clippers were able to make it to the Western Conference Final. People will say, you were supposed to get to the championship. Yeah, that's true. Everybody's supposed to get to the championship. But sometimes, it doesn't always work out like that. But you're not going to stop us from celebrating a feat that we had never accomplished before. So the Western Conference Final, we were able to get there. And it was all because of the adjustments that Ty Lue was able to make. So we went into that Phoenix series. But what I noticed right off the bat, and don't get me wrong, I'm not making an excuse or nothing like that, but right off the bat, we were the only team in the playoffs that didn't really get sufficient rest going into the Western Conference Final. We had to go from Friday right into an early game on Sunday, a 12 o'clock game on Sunday, right into the Western Conference Final against Phoenix. And everybody else had 2 to 4 games, 4 days off, going into their series. Even the Phoenix Suns. I think the Phoenix Suns were off like maybe 5 or 6 days before they had to play the Clippers. So they were fully rested. They were without Chris Paul in the first 2 games. But to be honest with you, a couple calls in game 2, and that series would have easily went back to Staples Center 1-1, and I believe the series would have been totally different. Ty Lue, he stuck with the small ball lineup, and it was working pretty good with Phoenix. Again, Patrick Beverley, he saw that Patrick Beverley could work against Booker, and Patrick Beverley made life hell, against Devin Booker. Devin Booker didn't look the same. Devin Booker ended up with a broken nose. I don't know how that happened, but, it was some rough play out there. And Patrick Beverley plays hard-nosed defense, and it was working. You know what I mean? And but ultimately, I think the Clippers were very, very tired. They were running on fumes, by fighting back, out of both of those previous series, from a 2-0 deficit. They were just running on fumes, and by the time they got to the Phoenix series, they didn't have much left in the tank, So Phoenix were, they were able to prevail. They beat us. But, I applaud the Clippers. They were able to make their first Western Conference Final. So that's a big accomplishment, a big achievement. And, my hat's off to the Clippers. But what I liked most about it was we were able to see the ability of Ty freaking Lue. We saw what he could do. And, I think going forward, we're going to be without Kawhi Leonard in this upcoming season, for a significant portion of the season. But I think with the addition of getting back Eric Bledsoe for Patrick Beverley and Rondo, I think at this stage, Eric Bledsoe is a better offensive player than PB and Rondo. And if you have Patrick Beverley as a better defender than Eric Bledsoe, I don't think Eric Bledsoe is that far off. He plays very, very good defense. He's super athletic. His defensive style is just different than Patrick Beverley, because you might beat Eric Bledsoe off the dribble, but then he'll chase you down and throw it off the glass. He got good makeup speed, and his hops are like insane. Even at his advanced age, well, I won't say advanced age, but even at 31 years old, he still have some serious bunnies. He can jump, and he'll chase you down and block your shot from behind. So he plays defense at a high clip. And I think Ty Lue is going to put him in a position to be able to excel. And, he's going to make the necessary adjustments with this team, even without Kawhi Leonard. Hopefully we'll get Serge Ibaka back. And, and let's just keep our fingers crossed that Kawhi can come back playoff time. I think without Kawhi, we'll probably be a 4 through 6 seed. You know, I could be a little optimistic, but I believe we'll be 4 through 6 seed and we'll make the playoffs. And if we could get Kawhi Leonard back, I believe we're going to do very, very well. But most people think the Clippers won't even make the playoffs. And I believe we'll definitely make the playoffs behind Ty Lue alone. I just think he's a fantastic coach. He's able to make adjustments on the fly. He outcoached Monty Williams in the playoffs. He outcoached Rick Carlisle. And he outcoached Utah's coach in the playoffs. Being down 2-0 deficits in each one of those series to make them go life and death with us. You know, even Phoenix, they went life and death with the Clippers. So, you know, that's all I really have for today. I want you guys to let me know in the comments section if you believe Ty Lue is the best in the game right now. And I'll read your comments. You know, you guys hit that like button, that subscribe button, and the bell icon. Please share the video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.